Wicked Witch of the West is dead. Let me tell you the whole story.
This wicked witch is the wizard who should be afraid of me.
Y'all, I just got back from seeing Wicked. So Wicked is one of my top 3 Broadway musicals that I love. And one of the reasons I really love Wicked is because I see a lot of myself in Elphaba. I just enjoy watching a show where I can relate to one of the characters. And so that's why I was like, I have to go see this movie because I love me some Elphaba and everything she represents and just her struggles that she goes through in the play. And I just really relate to her as a character. Like Glinda, nah. Elphaba, yeah, that's my girl. Oh, even though this isn't really a holiday movie, I'm gonna use my holiday drum roll for this. So, holiday drum roll! Y'all, I am giving this movie the highest possible rating, which is out of my normal scale. It is getting a 10, or 2 sets of 5 golden rings. First thing I liked about it is how they kind of strayed away a little bit from the actual Broadway musical. Like, they added some things that kind of made it their own, and I really like that because I know when you go into, if you've seen a musical on Broadway and then you actually see the movie version of it, like, you're often comparing the two. And so this, they kind of like did like subtle things where they switched it up a little bit, and I'm here for it. I really enjoyed it. I thought Ariana Grande did really good in her part. But my girl Cynthia, y'all, she killed it. And I am so excited to see part 2 because part 2 has my favorite song in the whole musical, No Good Deed. And just from seeing how Cynthia portrayed Elphaba in the first part, I know she's gonna kill it. And oh my goodness. But first off, there was just so many like subtle things that happen. Like how when you first start the movie, it's kind of showing like you see Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Lion and the Scarecrow. But you also see a character riding away from Oz on a horse, which I don't want to spoil stuff because it just came out, but I thought that was kind of cool. If you know the musical, you know why that's the case. But if you haven't, I'm not going to tell you because you'll find out part 2 next year. But yeah, and then there were just like some things I knew was going to happen, but how it happened, I was very happy. The singing, I really liked it too. They switched stuff up. They added like switched around some verses, added a verse. Like, it was so different. And just like actually seeing it in a movie format, it was really, really good. And Defining Gravity, she killed it. I was trying my best not to cry during that part. So I was like so solid. I was like, okay, we got this. We can do this. And then I made it to my car and then I cried. But oh my goodness, like, she killed it. I felt all the emotion. That's why when part 2, No Good Deed, when it's time to sing that song, I'm going to be a hot ball of mess because that's my song, just because she's tried, like, you just feel the emotion, and I felt it in Defying Gravity, so I know she's going to bring it. And one thing too, I will say about this movie is Elphaba's sister is the worst. Like, she's terrible in the musical, she's terrible in the book, but in this movie she's the worst too. Like, her Elphaba was going through stuff and her sister was not hereditary, and that's issues right there. If something happened with my sister, oh yeah, I'm helping out. Like, and Elphaba's sister did not do that at all. And it makes me so bad. I'm like, oh, okay, you're getting what's coming to you in the second part because you treated your sister wrong like your whole life, and that's an issue. I absolutely hated Elphaba's father. Oh my goodness, he was the worst. Like, I kind of like how they kept on bringing him up because he was a jerk to her, and it really made you feel for Elphaba too, just seeing like what she grew up with. And it was just really good. Fiyero, Jonathan, oh, you did good. I can't wait to see what you do in part 2. But yeah, overall, y'all should see this movie. I am like on full soundtrack mode now. Like, I went into this movie not listening to the soundtrack because I wanted to be surprised and, you know, hear the songs for the first time when I'm watching the movie. So now that I've done that, I'm like on my way home from the theater, I was blasting the soundtrack and like singing along in my car. I will say the one thing I really liked is when I went to the movies, after the first song they play, the whole theater clapped. And then at the end of the movie, like, there was a big old round of applause for the end of the movie. Like, everyone in the theater was just feeling it. And I did not have singers, but I probably will go to the sing-along version around Christmas because I want to sing it out with some people. But yes, let me know if you've seen Wicked, but I'm really impressed. Like, it's just the imagery, everything, it was so good. And I don't know, something about Wicked always inspires me when I leave. So I just kind of just feel really inspired, and I'm so excited. Like, I'm kind of mad they're making us wait a whole nother year for part 2. But whew, it's gonna be so good, y'all. This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.